Hello, Mzansi. Welcome to another episode of Farmers Inside Track. A special one, might I add. Of course, we're celebrating Women's Month here in South Africa. And my name is Duncan Masiwa. I'm your host for this episode, powered by Corteva Agriscience, Africa, Middle East. Now, as mentioned, this month is all about honoring the strength, the resilience, and leadership of women who are shaping agriculture, not just in South Africa, but around the world. Of course, joining me is Betty Kiplagat, who is the Government and Industry Affairs Leader for Corteva Agriscience, Africa, Middle East. Of course, she's here to tell us a bit about SoilSistas, a powerful program that's helping rural women farmers not only grow their skills, but also build their confidence and run successful farms and businesses. Betty, welcome to Farmers Inside Track.
Thank you very much, Duncan. Looking forward to the conversation.
It's a pleasure having you with us on the podcast. Of course, the SoilSistas program is one of those initiatives that really stays with you once you become aware of it, not just because of the impact, but also because of the heart behind it. And of course, I'm excited to unpack more about this with you. I think let's start at the beginning. Take us back to what inspired Corteva to launch the SoilSistas program in the first place.
The SoilSistas program was actually born from a deep commitment to empowering rural women. We had undertaken a survey as Corteva just around women in the world. What keeps them back? What holds them back from growing and becoming the commercial farmers that we are supposed to be? I think women really are the backbone of agriculture. So after that survey, we saw a need to come up with a program that would empower women who, as I said, are the backbone of agriculture in our communities. And unfortunately, they are overlooked. They don't get an opportunity to get into understanding the financial aspects, the regulatory aspects, and even access to finance because they're not owners of the land. So we thought, how can we come up with a program that would unlock that potential to give the women farmers the knowledge, the resources, and the confidence that would enable them to grow their businesses and transform their communities.
You know, Betty, we often hear that rural women, as you mentioned, are the backbone of agriculture, yet they remain undersupported, it seems. What was the specific gap or challenge that you identified in the sector that SoilSistas set out to address?
Quite a number of rural women farmers lack access to critical resources. They lack access from training, financial support, and even after they have grown their produce, they lack access, market access, and they also lack what is important, mentorship. And what we identified, we saw this as a systemic gap. While women, as I said, contribute significantly to food production, they rarely receive all this support in a package. So we came up with a program, SoilSistas, to bridge that gap, to equip women with technical know-how, business acumen, and to also create a powerful peer network that would enable them not just to survive in the agriculture sector, but to allow them to lead it. We might not solve all the problems through the SoilSistas program, but when we bring many of these voices together, they would be able to start looking at opportunities that would help them unlock access to finance, land ownership, and also just understand the regulatory space in which they work in.
I mean, every woman that I spoke to who've been part of the program has only had good things to say about how it has benefited not just their individual journeys as women and as entrepreneurs, but also the business and the community that they operate in. Of course, the program now, Betty, is in its fourth year, I understand. How has the program grown since its early days, whether in terms of scale, reach, or the types of support it offers?
I'm glad you've spoken to some of the women, and you will see that since its inception, SoilSistas has grown from a visionary idea into what I believe is now a very dynamic and also a movement. These women are actually a movement. When we sit with them in one group, you can feel the strength, the empowerment that these women now have. They have a voice. Since inception, we've supported about 100 women across Gauteng and Limpopo, and we are still counting. We are hoping that we would be able to still reach other parts of South Africa that we've not been able to. We've also grown because through that partnership with agribusinesses, local organizations, and I dare say Food for Mzansi as well, we've scaled the program to include mentorship. The cohorts from previous cohorts are also becoming mentors into the new cohorts as we bring them up. Our alumni are now leading examples of what's possible when women in agriculture are empowered and supported.
It's absolutely amazing. Betty's success can take many forms. Sometimes it's in numbers and sometimes it's in the personal breakthrough stories. What have been some of your key milestone moments or proud moments along this journey? Are there any stories that stand out for you?
Duncan, there have been many. From our first cohort of SoilSistas, we've seen some that have launched successful businesses. We've seen some of our alumni featured in national media and even regional media. I think we saw one of them in a Ghana publication, taking leadership roles in their communities. Each success story is a proud moment. One standout is the impact on the local economies. Women who once struggled to sustain a farm are now employing others and building sustainable enterprises. Another achievement for us also is our partnership with the Gordon Institute of Business Science, which gave SoilSistas access to world-class business education and networks. And I also want to say, Food for Mzansi, you've exposed these women. You've brought them to interviews. You've had conversations with them. You've taken them to panels. I've seen them sitting with ministers. So it is just such a joy seeing these women come up and shine and be able to talk about agriculture in such a passionate way that it would make you want to actually become a soil sister.
Isn't it beautiful how when there's collaboration and partnerships from different stakeholders, Betty, whether it's in the agricultural sector or outside the agricultural sector, what a powerful impact that ends up having on people that operate in the space and the sector at large. It's always so beautiful for me to see.
Absolutely. And the one thing that I've also learned, Duncan, in this journey is you can never do these things alone. So even if we had that visionary idea to come up with SoilSistas, we'd never have succeeded if we thought we would go it alone. So for me, partnership, support, understanding that you can never do everything alone, and calling up all the experts in the industry to come and walk the journey with you. All the exposure, all the knowledge, the opportunities that these women have had has not because of just Corteva alone. It has been all the partners that we've walked this journey with.
I mean, to a certain extent, I've had a front row seat to the SoilSistas program. And, I love how it has a future-focused approach to it. When you talk about legacy, Betty, what kind of legacy does Corteva hope to leave behind for women in agriculture through this specific program?
As Corteva, we envision a future where women are at the forefront of agricultural innovation and sustainability. The legacy we aim to leave is one of empowerment, equity, and resilience. We want young women who will follow these women now to know that agriculture isn't just a place for them. It's a place where they can lead, thrive, and redefine the future of food systems. Through SoilSistas, Corteva is just planting the seed of a more inclusive and food secure tomorrow.
Looking ahead to 2025 and beyond, what's next for SoilSistas? Are there any new directions or goals that you're particularly excited about?
Our goal, again, as we started, is to build a robust ecosystem where every woman in agriculture has the support and resources she needs to succeed. We still aim at making a meaningful change and deepen the outcome of the program through future collaborations with GIBS, with yourselves, and other interested parties. So we want to make it bigger, but we need to ensure that as we do it, we don't lose the initial meaning. So the program, our dream, remains the same. But we're looking again to have more partners come and give these women the push that we think they need, so that we are not just doing classroom work, and we want to see in 2026, 2027, let's see these women taking up a stand and being the voice in agriculture, pushing for legislation that would then empower them, ownership of land, access to finance. But it's a journey of one step at a time.
And we'll definitely be watching and cheering on for what comes next. Of course, Betty, it's Women's Month here in South Africa. It's a time for both reflection and, I suppose, inspiration as well. If you could leave one message for women in agriculture listening to this conversation right now, especially those getting started, what would you want them to hear?
I want them to hear this. Believe in your power to lead. Agriculture needs your voice, your ideas, and your vision. Don't wait for permission to take your place at the table. If there's no space for you, build your own. The future of farming is female, and through programs like SoilSistas, we're here to walk alongside you every step of the way.
There you have it. Betty Kiplagat, Government and Industry Affairs Leader for Corteva Agriscience, Africa, Middle East. You can, of course, read more on this topic by visiting www.foodfromzansi.co.za. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss any of the episodes. From me, Duncan Masua, our technical producer, Megan van der Vent, and the rest of #Team Food from Zanzi, thanks for listening.